champions again. Barcelona had beaten Athletic Club 6 times before this one to win the Copa del Rey, dating all the way back to 1920. And memories of Diego Maradona's brawl always come to mind when these two teams meet in a final. I mean, it's the best team ever in the Cup against the second best, 30 titles to 23 for Athletic Club. So the Copa del Rey final is the perfect place for these two to meet. Athletic Club, also want to remind you, is coming off a loss to Real Sociedad, their dreaded Basque country rival, just less than 2 weeks ago. So Athletic Club desiring and wanting to win this one. Athletic Club also this season had already beaten Barcelona for the Spanish Super Cup, so I think Barca had a little bit of revenge on their minds. Now, obviously we know Barcelona are the champions, but hey, you came to this match review, let's talk about it. We'll start with the lineup. No Ousmane Dembele, no Ronald Araujo. Piqué and Griezmann instead into the lineup in a 3-5-2. That was one of the big questions that we asked on the podcast, Francesca and I, this week. Would Ronald Koeman switch to a 4-3-3? I don't think he was going to consider the 4-2-3-1 at all, so it was either going to be the 4-3-3 or 3-5-2, and he sticks with the three center backs at the back, instead inserting Piqué as that one wrinkle in, and Griezmann taking the place of Dembele, who this week there were rumors that he wasn't at 100%. I think those might be correct. Athletic Club, meanwhile, going with one of their strongest possible lineups after resting pretty much everybody against Alaves last week. So they go with their 4-4-2. You knew how they would want to frustrate Barcelona with fouls. They would want to break up the flow of the match, etc., etc. You knew that Danny Garcia and Raul Garcia were going to be up to their old tricks, up to their dark arts, and indeed the two 30-plus-year-olds did just that in much of the first half. 5th minute, though Barcelona controlled this. I mean, nothing to be said more about the first half other than Barcelona's control. De Jong hits the post in the 5th minute. Messi gets in behind, Busquets over the top. All Barca to start the game. 10th minute, some more Barca. Wonderful movement too. Messi through ball to Griezmann. De Jong pulling 2 defenders towards the near post. Griezmann could have taken the shot. Instead, he tries to lead Messi for the one-timer, but Messi had players draped all over him to block the shot. 12th minute, a set piece for Athletic Club. Really the moment in the match where this really could have blown up for Barcelona. Inigo Martinez, potentially offside, but so close to making the referee make a decision. In hindsight, that winds up being the only true opportunity for the Basque club in this match. Athletic Club, as I said, wanted to do the same thing that Real Valladolid and Madrid did. They wanted to make Barca's fullbacks beat them. Des saw so much of the ball early on, and that was the game plan. And Alba's cutback to Messi was consistently blocked as expected. That was the pass that Alba was looking for to Messi. And near post runs, this was the problem here. You can't cross the ball in if nobody's making a run to the near post. And that wasn't happening in the first half. So put that in the back of your mind because obviously that's going to reverse in the second half. The spaces that De Jong and Griezmann were able to exploit is what caused Barca's best build-ups in the first half. And once again, now that we know the final result and how this one plays out, those wind up being the precursor to what we'd see in the second half. 26th minute, this is where I'm going to talk about Oscar Mingueza. Mingueza and Messi creating something almost out of nothing. Mingueza wins the ball, drives right up the middle. Messi and Des spread out the right side of the defense. Mingueza continued his run into the box, and if not for some last-ditch defending by Uri, Messi would have easily finished the pass from Mingueza's head. Cool Mingueza stat here, 63 is the number to know. He completed 63 of his 66 passes in the first half of this final. More passes completed than every Athletic Club player, no, not the individuals, but the entire Athletic Club team in the first 45 minutes. They were all 11 of them, 56 of 87. So that's 7 more passes for Oscar Mingueza alone completed than all of Athletic Club. That tells you what you need to know about this first half. Before we head to the second half, I do want to mention Pedri too. He was playing well and finding himself in the spots he's comfortable in, but I'm not sure in the first half he was in the spots Barca needed him to be in. Since he doesn't really make runs into the box, he's basically supporting Messi in case the Argentine loses the ball. And more than once, he wound up either dribbling into Messi's space or he dribbled Messi's space away, and then he wasn't really an option once Barca got the ball to the wings. This is a little bit on Messi too, but still, nuance is hard. I want to make it clear. I don't think Pedri in the first half played poorly, but remember, getting into those spaces is what led to his goal against Athletic Club early in the season, but I don't think he was what was needed at that position in the first half, where Barcelona still, have to be said, 7-1 shots at halftime, almost letting you know that if Barca got one, more would come. Second half, Marcelino getting even more defensive at halftime. No surprises here, basically playing for PKs at the 45th minute, which is not too wise. Inigo Leque, the fullback and wingback, on for Munian, the captain. Sad to see Munian, for neutrals at least, come off at halftime. So Munian, with him going off, DeMarcos, the veteran winger, pushes forward on that right side, and Leque goes back into that fullback spot. Minutes into the second half, Messi with a really good dribble, Dest getting in behind, across to Griezmann, Unai Simon out to meet him, and Griezmann can't finish as Simon makes a save. And this is the moment where you're hitting the alarm bells and saying, Griezmann's missed way too many chances in this match. Now Athletic Club, all they need is one. Pedri also a few moments later gets a shot that Simon saves, and the moments after that, Busquets can't finish on the doorstep. Another save by Simon, and you were getting feelings of deja vu from the Spanish Super Cup. 54th minute, Berenger off for Vesga, meaning a winger off for a defensive midfielder. Marcelino was going to make this game tighter as it went on, not more open, that was clear. 60th minute, after a defensive stand on the other side, Barca come the whole length of the field, Messi to the overlapping De Jong, Griezmann making the run to the near post, and Griezmann puts it home. It was the kind of thing that Athletic Club were blocking or clearing in the first half, but you could tell that the possession from Barca was wearing Athletic Club down. Whether it was the final they had played 2 weeks ago or the grind of the Spanish season where Athletic Club, they just don't have as many options as Barcelona do. And that's when the spaces really opened up. Barca swarming to get the ball back, and De Jong deserved the goal he got. He did so much to get the ball up the field, riding tackles, the referee playing advantage, then the switch to Alba, and De Jong continues his run into the box for the cross. It's a finish in traffic, but I think De Jong saw it the whole way to finish with his head. 67th minute, Marcelino using his other three subs, very like-for-like replacements. That's probably due to heavy legs and the disappointment of knowing you probably lost 2 Copa finals in a 2-week period. Then, it was Messi time. Picks it up on the right flank at midfield, the 1-2 with De Jong, and then the cutback for the shooting space. Was this 2012? Was this 2015? This was still 2021. Messi still has a little bit of magic in his boots. Well, still a lot of magic, because minutes later, the cutback to Messi from Alba is finally open. The brace for Messi. Athletic Club were done and dusted by that point. Griezmann helping that build-up too, must be mentioned. Most interesting to me with these 4 goals at this point was how quickly Barca struck on those goals and where they picked up the ball. It was quick progressions from their own half, where they basically go 60, 70 yards, and that's what opened up those spaces. Because Athletic Club, hey, they defensively had their game plan. They were going to bring everybody in, a tight 4-4-2, not really put too much pressure on the ball, not going to play a high line. So what Barca had to do was quickly strike, and it helped that Messi was on his day today. Messi scoring his 9th Copa del Rey final goal, breaking Telmo Zarra's all-time record. Poor Telmo Zarra, I know he's not alive to hear this, but pretty much every record that he set up that you thought would last forever in Spain, Messi just one by one knocking those records down, and he continued to do it today. Roberto on for Dest, the only Barca sub that came before the 80th minute. Then the 81st minute, Pedri off for Ias Mariba and Piqué off for Araujo. Piqué, apparently there was some discomfort, probably should have come off early, but seems like he's okay. And again, Ias Mariba, I was hoping to see him in this match. I'm glad he got to play a part in the first trophy that he won with the club. 86th minute, Griezmann almost gets his brace. Messi again to Griezmann, who was just offside, dribbled around the keeper and in. Then immediately Griezmann subbed off Braithwaite and Dembélé on for Griezmann and Mingueza, as Barcelona at that point were in complete cruise control. That's a 31st Copa del Rey in Barca's history. I think it's hard to grasp how many that is. Again, 31. Think about how old you are, and even though this cup is 120 years old, that's still 1/4 of all Copa del Reys, all Spanish football that Barca have won in this competition. But instead of staying in the past, I think more importantly, it's the first trophy for Ronald Koeman in charge of Barcelona and the first since Joan Laporta took over again. Don't worry, Francesca and I will discuss what this trophy means, the first one for Barca in 2 years for us on this week's podcast. So look out for that, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that. And as always, until next time, Forza Barca.